What's up, Waluigi? Trent from Trentendo here. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope you guys got to celebrate it the best way that you could. We were out here with some family and friends, and just enjoying and have a really good time, but we got the cold that comes with seeing lots and lots of people. But today, we're not going to let that cold hold us down. We've got a bunch of new stuff we got to talk about as we dive right into 2024 and what should be one of the most exciting years for Nintendo in a while. So before we hop into this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like this video so you get kept up to date with everything going on here at Trentendo. Let's see if we get 20 likes on this. It really does help. I appreciate it. Without further ado, let's hop right in. Now, as I mentioned, this year should be a very exciting year for Nintendo, and the Switch 2 should be announced here pretty soon, it seems like. And it feels like there might be a problem with the February Nintendo Direct because of the Nintendo Switch 2. So let me explain a little bit about this February Nintendo Direct problem. Now, right now, before we even get into February, what has Nintendo already announced? Now, we don't know much of what is on slate for 2024 from Nintendo outside of a couple of games. We know we've got Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door dropping sometime this year. That game just recently did get rated officially by the ESRB, which is a good sign potentially, meaning it could drop sooner than later. The game's probably done. But again, we don't know really anything about this yet, when it's coming. It could just be a nothing burger and, it's going to drop later this year still, or maybe it could drop sooner. But that being said, it is rated, so we know Paper Mario at least. We know Princess Peach Showtime dropping in March. We've got Donkey Kong versus Mario vs. Donkey Kong, that remake dropping in February. We've got another Code Recollection dropping sometime. I can't remember the specifics on that. And then we do know about Luigi's Mansion 2 HD as well. So that's kind of it for now. That's all we know about Nintendo. There's not much outside of that. Now, getting into a February Nintendo Direct, though, we would expect to see a lot more announcements. They're not going to just leave us with these few games. They're going to drop some other stuff. There's going to be third-party stuff as well along the way. But I'm most interested in to see, this presents the biggest problem for Nintendo-specific games, in my opinion. Without the Nintendo Switch 2 announced by the February Nintendo Direct, what will they show us? A lot of these games that we are expecting to come out for Nintendo Switch 2, how are they going to show us that if the Switch 2 is not actually out? Now, we will have another Direct in June, we'll have another Direct in September probably, but this first Direct of the year, it really does kind of set the tone for the entire year, I feel like, it's what gets people excited, and they do have some announcements usually that trickle out towards the end of the year. But if the Nintendo Switch 2 is not yet announced, I feel like they're going to have some problems with what they can actually show, and it might be leading to a very weak Nintendo Direct if the Switch 2 is not yet announced. So that leads to the question, will the Switch 2 be announced before February? Because, like I said, I think that if it's not, it could provide some problems. Now, that's not to say that Nintendo won't be able to find a way to fill it with some third-party games. I'm sure the way that we're looking at the Switch 2 right now is that there's going to be backwards compatibility, so maybe it doesn't pose a problem. Maybe it's, okay, here's all these games that are coming, but, when they do announce the Switch 2, potentially maybe, it seems like the consensus right now is that sometime around March, or maybe a little bit before March, we could see it. And then, once they announce that, they can say, okay, hey, you know what? This game's going to be on Switch and Switch 2. Or this game's going to be on, Switch, but it'll also be playing on Switch 2. So there's going to be a lot of that, I feel like. But I think that there is potential for, Nintendo wants to, I think Nintendo's going to want to show the game in the best light. And if it's going to be on Nintendo Switch 2, they're not going to want to show, they're not going to want to showcase their brand new game on Switch hardware when the Switch 2 version exists already, probably. Now, there's a lot of people, though, that are probably thinking the Switch 2 is not going to get announced in January or early February. There's no way. It's a slap in the face to all the people. This is the thing that I really hear a lot, is it's a slap in the face to the people who just bought a Nintendo Switch for Christmas or on the holiday season. I don't know if it's that big of a slap in the face, really. If they've waited, at this point, the Switch has been out for almost 7 years. They've waited 7 years to pick up a Switch. Is it really a slap in the face to say, here's the new hardware? Sorry, you just bought this one, but we're going to come out with the new one? I don't think so. People who are just buying a Switch this year or buying their kids a Switch this year, they're not early adopters. They're the late adopters. This is, oh, okay, finally we're going to get a Nintendo Switch. So I don't think to them it's a big a deal. If all these games are going to be backwards compatible, it doesn't matter that they just got a Switch, because even if the Switch 2 comes out and the games that are going to be out for that, they're going to be able to do and play the games that they would like to with the Nintendo Switch, as well as Nintendo Switch 2. So I don't think that that is an issue at this point in time. I think that Nintendo's going to announce it whenever they announce it, and I don't think that, you know, the holiday season of 2023 is going to do anything to deter them from announcing this, you know, potentially in January. Now, the question though becomes is, when does this system actually launch? Now, if it does launch later in the year, as some people are suggesting, you know, maybe September, October, January probably is far too soon to announce this game. You know, the way the tech world works now, stuff is going to get announced and released much shorter time frames than previously. You know, I don't think they're going to have a 9-month marketing cycle for the Nintendo Switch 2 or the Super Nintendo Switch, whatever you want to call it. I feel like it's going to be 3 to 4 months. So if they announce it in January, that gives us, you know, March, April, May, sometime in there potentially, which I think would make a lot of sense in my own opinion. Personally, I have no clue. This is all just speculation. This is all just for fun. So, but, you know, I think it makes sense. But even if, okay, so then if we think about it this way though, the big consensus seems to be that March. So if you say that it's released or it's announced in March, you know, maybe sometime June, July, August, maybe you push to September, but I don't think you go past September at that point if you wait till March. So I think that, in my own opinion at least, this will come out in the first, you know, 3/4 of the year. Like, I don't think we're going to get clear to the holiday season like some people suggest. You know, I don't think this is going to be an October or November release. You know, I think at the very least this is a September release for Nintendo Switch 2. But I think that it's actually going to be sooner than that, in my own opinion. And I think we could potentially really see something about Nintendo Switch 2 this month. And there has been leaks and rumors to suggest that we could see something revealed this month. So it potentially, you know, it's not out of the realm of possibility. But I'd love to know what you guys think. You know, does the February Nintendo Direct, does it cause a problem? Because I think it kind of does. You know, and like I said, maybe it doesn't, but part of me really feels like it does. And I think that might lead to Nintendo announcing something before the Nintendo Direct, so that when they have the Nintendo Direct in February, they're going to be able to showcase the games in the best way they can on Nintendo Switch 2 hardware. You know, I think you're going to want to be able to have a Nintendo Direct to really promote, you know, the games that are going to be on this new system. And what better time to do that than February? Because if the system does launch, you know, and sometime maybe March, April, or May before the June Direct, this is going to give you a chance to showcase those games before the June Direct. Maybe convince some people that maybe on the fence, you know, or maybe convince some other people to be early adopters that wouldn't have been otherwise. But I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts down below, what you guys think. And is this a problem? Is it not a problem? And, you know, when do you think Nintendo will actually announce the Nintendo Switch 2 or whatever it ends up being called? So, hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, like this video. It really does help. I appreciate it. And until next time, catch you later.